friends, welcome to Sweden with Tripti. Moving to Sweden was never part of the plan, not even in my wildest dreams. But life has its own plans, right? And here I am after almost 2 years later, calling this beautiful country my home. And time really flies. It feels only like yesterday when I came here, everything was so different. New language, new people, new way of living. Everything was too fascinating at the same time. It was too overwhelming. But yeah, I started to adapt. Now I look back and I see so many things which I used to think so strange. Those things are now part of my everyday life. I'm gonna share all those small, tiny habits which I never thought I will do that, but now they feel so normal to me. Without any further delay, let's begin today's speech. I'm gonna talk about it is very useful and very important, especially when you are living in a Europe or in a Sweden, and that is about vitamins. So it's been almost our third winters and I didn't realize like it is too common to me now, because when I moved here first year I felt too weird when people are saying to me, okay, have you started your vitamin, have you started to eat vitamin? I felt too weird. Why do we need vitamin? We are fine, fit and fine. But as the time passes, now I realize those are very important, because you can't see enough sun here and get lack of vitamins, so it is better to eat. So it is now a part of our daily life, daily routine. When it is coming winters, it is too normal for us to buy tablets, vitamin D tablets. So yeah, I'm using every single time. Even my kid, we are giving him also. It's normal for us. As the winter started to approach, in our mind it start to work, oh, we need to buy those things. Those are like in our bucket list when we see, okay, winter is coming. So this is also very new change in our life, which is now a part of our daily life, although earlier it was not the case. And it is a new habit which we have adapted during this time. And if you're wondering how do they look, what sort of vitamin D we are taking and my son is taking, I can show you. So this kind of vitamin we are taking, this one is for me and this one for my husband. So these are like the things we use them every single day. Those are like, initially I felt quite burdened, like I need to eat them, but nowadays without eating them I feel a little bit incomplete. So those are the vitamins we are taking every single time. And for my son also, these are the multivitamin. You can see for my son these are like flavored ones, so he also enjoys. It's like a gummy bear gummies for him, so he eats also every single time, every single day. So these are now part of our daily everyday life. And yeah, and if you are new to Sweden, don't dare to avoid them, otherwise you can have some sort of problem. You have to take those vitamins with you. It is good for your health. Now I'm gonna talk about my next habit, which is about drinking black coffee. So when I moved from India to Sweden, I used to drink coffee, but not too much, and it's like with lots of milk, with lots of sugar, everything. But when I moved here, I realized most of the people, they are drinking black coffee here without sugar, without anything, just plain black coffee. Whenever I was going anywhere for my office or during my internship or any classes, any sort of places when I'm going out, I found there were options like green tea and coffee was like black coffee, that's all. So initially I started to drink that, and then bitter, and it's not good at all. But into office, when I was going my SFE class and any sort of courses, everywhere they started to drink slowly, okay, 1 cup every single day I'm drinking, and then I felt, oh, it is good. So I started to enjoy that coffee, that taste, that aftertaste hits too good, I must say. Now when I look at me, I am loving it. I love black coffee, I really love it, and it gives me so energy. And it's like every day I love to take at least one cup of black coffee. So yeah, these are the small tiny changes. I'm not sure, I should be proud of that. It's not a very good thing to drink black coffee so much, but it's like my part of everyday life now. This is my learning, I would say. Even if you don't like anything and you keep doing that again and again, then it will be your nature, and you will start to like it, I would say. It will not bother you anymore. So yeah, this is how I started to drink black coffee, and now it is my one of favorite drink. which I really enjoy every single day. So yeah, but of course you shouldn't drink so much coffee. Caffeine, it is not too good for health, but 1 cup is good, nothing to worry, I believe so. Now I'm gonna talk about my next habit, which is quite shocking, I would say, because if I'll think about that, it feels like, wow, when did I start to do that? I feel like, oh my god, it's super amazing. And that change is I started to use local transportation. I started to travel so much in buses, tram, and metro. So when I was in India, it was very rare that I will travel. I don't remember when the last time I traveled in a bus in India, because most of the time we were in cab, taxi, our own car. But since I moved here, I would say every time whenever I am going to a class or office, most of the time I'm traveling in a bus. It sounds a little weird, but I feel now it's pretty amazing here, especially the transportation services. These are quite good. Buses are quite good. Their facility is super good. So I felt, oh my god, when did I start to do that? Initially, it was a little weird, I would say. First, I would say 2 or 3 months I started like, oh, I need to travel in a bus. Okay, can I have a car, taxi? And taxi, those were super expensive. Not were, they are still super expensive here. And the other part is the transportation was super good, super fast, and we just need to get down and bus in front of us, so it makes sense. And trains are there and metros, everything were quite connected and very easy for us to travel from one place to another. So I didn't realize actually when did I started to make it normalize, because in India it was like, so people will think, oh my god, you travel from bus. Yeah, but here it is too normal. Most of the people, they prefer, I believe most of the people prefer local transportation, and I prefer too nowadays, because I traveled in taxis as well. But what I realized, in taxis they're taking so much time than buses. There was so much traffic and everything, but for the buses there is a particular time of travel and estimation of arrival. Everything is like kind of fixed. When is your arrival time, how much time it will take for you to reach to the destination. But in case of cars here, I found it a little bit, it's not fixed at all. It is quite challenging, I would say, because 4 times I have traveled, I used taxi, and all the time I was quite stuck in a traffic, and it was taking more than expected time. So in India we were totally dependent on Uber, Ola, everything, but here we are dependent on our buses, trams, and of course metros. So this was a different change in my life, which I have adapted. I feel now good, normal. Okay, I need to take a bus. If you need it simple, and that is, I started to use socks at home instead of slippers. I never realized when I started to do that, because in India I used to wear slippers inside home all the time, whether in Himachal or Bangalore or Delhi or Chandigarh. I have lived all these places in India, but most of the time, I would say like 99% of the time, I was wearing only slippers inside houses. When I moved here, I started to realize, okay, I don't need to wear my slippers inside home. The first reason can be like houses are made of wooden. Initially period, I didn't use any socks or anything. So later, slowly, I don't know, when winters came, then I started to wear socks, and it became my natural habit. So every single day, even in winter, summers, spring, every season, I'm wearing small, cute, tiny socks all the time inside home. And my slippers are always outside my home, I would say, and the entrance. So I never used slippers inside home. I never realized how it happened, but it happened so smoothly. It was a cute change. Initially, when I used to live in India, there is a thing in my mind. Of course, we are not supposed to take our slippers inside kitchen, especially when I was living in Himachal. But yeah, slowly, when I moved to Bangalore, Chandigarh, Delhi, so it was quite normal there that we can use slippers everywhere. So it was a very small, tiny change, which I really like, and I would love to continue that even in India when I'll go there to visit my family. If you have visited Sweden, or if you're living in Sweden, you must have seen those kind of packets mostly this one. So these are the packets for goodies, for the candies. So I make sure I always choose the smallest packet, so I will not buy so many. These are quite yummy delicious, salty, sour. Now next habit is I started to eat candies, especially on Saturdays. So if you know about Sweden, in Sweden it is kind of candy days when kids are allowed to have candies. So we also, I don't know how we adapted this culture so fast. When I was kid, I used to eat so many candies, and after coming here I realized I went back to my childhood days. So yeah, started to eat them again, and it was like a perfect reason to eat here, because everyone say like on Saturday you're supposed to eat candies. So they have like candy days on Saturday, so every kid, or I will say teenagers, everyone eats here. Although I eat less quantity, not so much, but it is kind of a ritual now to make sure every Saturday we will eat some candies, the Swedish candies. And if there is no candies left at home, so every Saturday I try to go to candy store, to grocery store, and buy candies. Swedish candies, they are kind of addictive, and I'm kind of addicted to them. My son, in fact, he also likes to eat candies, but I have stopped him to got cavity and everything. So that's why I told him, you are not allowed to eat so many candies, but I hide all of them, and when he's not at home, at that time I eat them. Apart from that, one good habit I would say, which I realized, of course it's not like without realizing I started to do, but yes, one good habit which I started to do here, it is walking. In India I never walked that much at all, but here I must say I started to walk so much, and now I'm enjoying it. Initially when we were new here, like, you know, metro stations sometimes were like on a walking distance. That time we used to walk. When I used to drop my son, so school was little bit far from the location, so I was taking him on in a stroller, so that time I used to walk. So slowly it started to become my habit. But now still, like, now we are staying at a place where everything is close nearby us, so we don't need to walk, but still I prefer to walk. If I don't get enough time to walk during weekdays, I prefer to walk on weekends, on Saturday or Sunday. And I started to enjoy more. I started to like nature more. Although I'm from Himachal, and in Himachal we also love nature so much, right, in India. But here I started to explore more. I was not like that, but now this is, I would say, a good habit. I prefer to go, you know, take a walk. So yeah, this was all about the video, and they are little reminder how beautifully life changes when we embrace it. So I hope you liked this video, and if you have any sort of comments and wanted to know any information regarding Sweden, my life in Sweden, feel free to contact. And thank you so much guys for watching. Thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.